Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Flashback Rafael to review today. This is the one that I chose to do on my club because of the fact that he just seems like the better option of the two, in all fairness, right? I could get that link up with Kalu with a decent right back. I could have done the same thing with Atal as well, but not a lot of great options for left backs and right backs in the League One, so not a bad SBC, but Fabio has like the 77 stamina, which is a little bit off-putting, but if you have him on stay back while attacking, it could be okay. So, with Rafael's card, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I decided to go with him is because I just liked his base card stats more than they are on Fabio's card, because with this Rafael card, right, his dribbling is really, really nice with the 83 composure. He has very, very good passing stats as well. But the most important thing here is the fact that if you give him an anchor chemistry style, there's actually significant stat increases in regards to his physical stats as well as his defensive stats, right? And then he also gets the pace increase in regards to 98 acceleration and 92 sprint speed. Yes, he is going to be a short player in game, and that's going to be something that we have to obviously test out, because I really think his aggression is going to be his big thing. You know, kind of like Conte, how Conte's aggressiveness is what makes him a good CDM for a lot of people. This card is very, very interesting to check out. So, in regards to his in-game stuff, 5'8" high-medium work rates, 4-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. Does he have stamina? He has 86 stamina, so that's very, very usable in the right back position, especially if you have him on stay back while attacking. So, in regards to specific stats, 93 acceleration, 87 sprint speed, you want to increase that. He's a fullback. Fullback pace is very, very important to catch up with certain players, so you need the pace on him. The aggression will definitely help out with the pace in regards to him kind of chasing after a player and using his aggressiveness towards getting the ball. 92 attacking positioning, so that's going to be very interesting to try out on the balanced instruction, right, to see what he's like pushing forward, coming back with the high medium work rates, stuff like that. Passing, again, like I said, very good for his card. Composure at 83 with good dribbling stats, very important too. His dribbling stats are really good in the right back position, considering the fact that he is also 5'8", so pretty nice in that regard as well. And then the physical stat increase that you'd be given the card with the anchor chemistry style would be mostly ideal, right? So I think he could be a really good right back, excuse me. It's more a matter of, is his height gonna really influence the way that he plays in game? He has the injury prone trait, which EA take the injury prone trait out of the game because who cares about that? But he does have the flair trait in regards to the fancy flick passes and all that kind of stuff, which isn't really important. So nothing too crazy with this card. I think these cards cost around like 130k. As you guys know, I have been doing the bronze pack method to get the cards regardless. To do these play reviews for you guys, so it's not really a huge deal for me. So, the way that we are going to be lined up with the 4-2-3-1 with this Rafael card is we're going to have him on balanced instructions. So, as you guys know, I've already done the video for the 4-2-3-1 instruction/tactics video, but it's going to be very interesting to see what he's like on balance because of that attacking positioning that he has. Very, very interesting variable to consider there. I'm going to have Ricardo Pereira stay back while attacking because this card is really freaking good. At first, I was like, oh my god, why is he so expensive on the market? But it just makes a lot of sense. I want to see how Kalu with comeback and defense is going to play with Rafael's balance instructions. It's going to be a very interesting thing to look at because they could replace, or they could have a rotation policy between each other where Kalu just starts to play in his position and Rafael stays up top, which isn't necessarily an ideal situation, but good for a rotation policy depending on the situation of the game because they'll switch positions at some point, right? But again, the thing that we're going to do is we're going to force him to make those runs forward, and then we're going to lose the ball, stuff like that, to see what he's like tracking back. And then we're going to try to force the opponent's attacking play over to that side to see what he's like transitioning left and right, all that fun stuff. I don't really see him being an ideal center back in a 3 at the back formation just because you know, he's a small player. You don't really want a small player in those positions. However, he could be a good right center back, but playing as a fullback in that position, if that makes any sense, right? But it's still not necessarily ideal. I do strictly see this card being used as a right back. You have a very decent rotation policy with this card if you choose to switch to a 3 at the back if you want to use him as a right mid in your team, right? Because obviously 61 finishing is not the greatest, but he does have the pace, he'll have the defense, physical, and dribbling stats So it's going to be a good balance in there regardless, right? So, yeah, a lot of things we're going to try out with this card. But I mostly want to see what he's like in the right back position. So let's get into a game, see how he plays. Hopefully he, you know, transitions back really quickly, because with the anchor chemistry style, he gets 95 defensive awareness. So hopefully he understands that he has to push back really quickly. We'll see how that works out. Okay, let's see how my boy dribbles with the ball at his feet. Okay, so the one thing I will tell you right off the bat is that he actually looks taller in game, which is great. I love the fact that he looks taller in game. Very, very important thing there. So far, his body type in game is actually quite nice as well. No fake shot right there. Dribbling with the card is pretty decent so far. So what I have to do now is I need to force him to make a run forward. So we'll do a nice little 1-2 play over here. We'll get over here into this position there. Okay, so he's aggressively pushing up there. Let's see what he's like coming back. He goes back into his initial position instantly, which is fantastic. Very, very good thing to have there. Again, dribbling with the card's pretty decent. His body type feels bigger in game, which is obviously fantastic as well. So I think it's going to be very beneficial to have a card like this in your team, because I thought he was going to feel too small in game, but he doesn't, which is really, really important, right? Like, you could kind of tell because of Bernardo Silva's body type, he feels just like his height in game. But Rafael's body type it feels bigger in game, which is a very, very important thing to have, right? Ooh, his dribbling is really nice. It's like close control dribbling. All right, I'm gonna force a play here again with him. Make that pass. Gonna lose the ball there. Let's see what it's like getting the ball back. Not too bad. Dribbling is obviously very responsive with the card, especially because his agility, balance, and all that good stuff is pretty high, in all fairness. So you can see that Kalu is kind of like occupying the middle position now. And what happens with that is when you're using the balance instruction, that's where Rafael is really going to utilize that space, right? Might be able to get a pass off here. Couple of touches to get that near post angle. We don't get that near post angle. Rafael, with his attacking positioning, did you guys see how he was attacking in that general area? Very, very interesting there. And he's actually tracking back quite nicely as well with the balance instruction. So this could be an ideal player to use in the right mid position or as an attacking right back because of that attacking position. Very, very noticeable in that situation once he started to transition into the middle really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the middle here with Kalu. That's when Rafael starts to occupy the sides there, you see? See what he's like when he's coming over here. Sticks to that position really nicely. He offers a very good extra width in your team if you require it, which is obviously fantastic. See if we can get a pass off here. We don't, but I'm liking the card so far. He's incredibly usable. Aggressive in that situation right there to get that ball back. So works out perfectly with the pressure on heavy touch. The anchor chemistry style seems to be really nice in the card as well. You're obviously going to notice that his height is obviously going to affect his physical battles sometimes, but it does feel like an incredibly usable card so far. He has a really good rotation policy with Kalu so far. I will say that. It is a very, very noticeable thing. I think the pressure on heavy touch with the stay back while attack, or the comeback in the fence for Kalu is working out really nicely. They're really well balanced off of each other right now. So you can see his positioning right there in the right back position. He kind of transitioned into the center back area really quickly, but then once he realized that it didn't make any sense for him to stay there anymore, he was going back into his right back position, which is very, very important. Some fullbacks, what they do is they'll start to transition more into the middle, but then they won't utilize the fact that they should probably stick to their position once the center back gets back into their position, right? So the card's pretty fun so far. The dribbling is incredibly noticeable because of the fact that his height is not necessarily tall. He's moving around the pitch really nicely, and his attacking positioning being in the 90s is a welcome inclusion on a card for sure. Tracking there in that situation was really good as well. He was tracking the oncoming attacker right there really nicely. Let's see what he's like in this position here with no second man press. He keeps marking the other player there, right? But he starts to transition into the middle if he feels like the center back needs that extra help, which is great. There we go. Get a nice little ball roll touch right there, boys. Yeah, so thoughts at the second half. He's an incredibly usable right back. There's nothing like special about the card, but you can obviously see, right, with the balance instructions on the card, it's not like his stamina is going to stay up there that much, right? So for me personally, that's not a big deal, right? Because we're trying him on the bounce. We're seeing what he's like coming back in the defense. But I'll mostly be using my right back to stay back while attacking players. So we're forcing the run out of him, which is why we're really, really taking a toll on his stamina, which is... It makes me think how Fabio's 77 is really not going to be enough on balance, but on stay back while attacking, it could be an ideal situation. But so far with Rafael, like if you want to put him on balance, he's definitely very usable with those instructions. Okay, we want to push up here with Kalu, go backwards, then go forwards. Yeah, Rafael will instantly go forward. Like, he understands that Kalu's the one that's coming back. See how Kalu has a rotation policy with Rafael? That's what I meant from before. So that rotation policy that they have is an interesting thing to take into consideration, because that comeback on defense instruction for Kalu is going to make him play off Rafael a certain way for sure. See, rotation policy with him and Kalu. Rafael occupied the attacking position instantly. Gonna have the space right here. Nice little dribbles. Oh, and then Ozymane's offside. I hate Ozymane's off the ball movement. He gets into positions like, just not really a huge fan of it. I like the strikers that understand that they're going into an offside position instantly, so they kind of like transition back a certain way. Yeah, his attacking positioning stat being high is a really, really nice thing to have, because you notice how he instantly utilizes empty space with those stats for sure. Oh man, that would have been a really good attacking situation. Bernardo Silva offside, but Rafael, man, really nice up there on the attack. His marking is really good. Like, even when I was in the attacking position, on balance instructions, he gets into his position instantly, not even doing anything with the second man press, and he understands when he needs to aggressively defend in that situation. So, like I said, guys, the card's incredibly usable for sure. If you ever need him in your team because of certain link-ups that you need for the right back position, whether it's Brazilian links or whatnot, he'll definitely help out in that squad, in your squad for sure. I think he'll be very good on stay back while attacking, but obviously for the sake of the reviews, you need to try him out on balance to see what he's like if you want that extra attacking presence. But obviously defensively, he's going to play that situation quite nicely. He occupies the sides really nicely if you have a right or left attacking mid that transitions into the inside. So it's a nice card so far. You can see that without me doing anything as well, he instantly gets back into his right back position in that situation and marks the players really nicely, because he's kind of like in between the two attacking players right there, not even doing anything. Again, aggressive interception, gets the ball back really nicely. So it's a really fun card so far. Again, marking there really good in that situation. Sticks to his player really nicely. If there was no player there, he would have probably helped out the center back in that position. Near post strike right there. Ooh, we hit the crossbar. Too much power there. Obviously, finishing is not that high with this card, but not really like a hugely important thing. Obviously, in a lot of situations, you want to be able to score regardless. But yeah, man, he feels very nice so far. Alright guys, so final verdict on Rafael's card. He's pretty decent in all fairness. I think the anchor chemistry style actually makes the card incredibly usable. The biggest thing that I noticed with this card is attacking positioning when I have him on balance instructions. He'll definitely utilize empty space really quickly if you want him to, especially if you have, you know, your wide cams having the characteristic of having them like cut inside often, because you guys know that when I do the reviews for the attacking players, sometimes they're either really positional where they kind of like linger there a lot, like Bellarabi or Thauvin, which I don't really personally like, or you have players like Kalu and Kent, they're always moving constantly, right? And because Kalu is the type of player that will transition into the middle, he'll play really nicely off of Rafael, because Rafael will utilize that empty space on the side really quickly. So attacking positioning, very, very noticeable with the card. In regards to defensive ability, I don't expect too much with the card in regards to him being 5'8" in regards to reaching for the ball and whatnot. High medium work rates is not a bad thing on the card, because on 86 stamina, if you have him on stay back while attacking, with that attacking positioning, when it makes sense for him to attack in certain positions, it is a really cool variable to have. The anchored chemistry style definitely helps the card out a lot in regards to acceleration. His dribbling is actually quite responsive in game. He feels bigger in game, which is important because of his body type. I thought his body type was going to be similar to like Bernardo Silva, because Bernardo Silva is a little skinnier, right? So he actually feels like his height. But Rafael feels a little bit more stocky, and even if you could see on Footbin's website, average is his body type, which is stockish in my opinion. Not in my opinion, that's what I consider stockish, right? And obviously that's a really important thing to make a player feel bigger in game, right? So the card's pretty nice. Again, he's incredibly usable. If you guys need him in your League One team, he's pretty nice. Is he better than like Footmas Atal and stuff? I don't know, man. Footmas Atal with that, I think he has a 5-star weak foot and the high work rates. I think I'd still prefer him. There's also Kenny Lala's Moments card, and I think I'd prefer Kenny Lala's Moments card as well. But if you guys didn't do those 2 SBCs, you need a right back in your team that's incredibly usable. Rafael's going to be that guy. But I do think he is third best out of those 3 options, because I still use Footmas Atal and he's really, really nice. But obviously the big thing with this is the League One links, and especially the Brazilian links. That's the big one here, right? So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.